This man right here, he is Mr. Rugby Town, Ricky D, and what a start to the season he's having. 10 assists in 10 games, 7.88 rating. On transfer deadline day, I rejected a bid of £5 million for him from Wrexham. Kind of glad we rejected that. There are plenty of championship teams looking at him. I'm hoping we're going to keep him around for the long haul. If we just look at his attribute development here, we brought him in as a player released by Brighton and Hove Albion. He has gone on to develop, to get better and better, and he has made this step up with us now for the last 4 years, and it doesn't look like stopping. Now, I will say now, mentally, I have wiped the slate clean after last episode. If you missed it, perhaps the most traumatic episode ever, and that is not being dramatic. Today, 2 games. Peterborough United away, a team who have been, well, in a little bit of mixed form. Steve Cooper is their manager. They've been stuck at this level for a long old time, and they were really high in the league when I decided to do this live commentary against them. Their form's not great lately. Saying all of that, ours hasn't been great either, and in the second game today, we are taking on Watford, a fallen giants of sorts. This is their 3rd season in League One. They have a media prediction of 3rd. They're currently 3rd, and while we find ourselves in 4th place. So this is a really important game towards the top of the table. They do have a couple of games in hand as well on the teams on top, although so do we. Today is episode number 47 of Park to Prem. Let's run the intro and get right into things. Yes, folks, welcome back. Hopefully you guys are doing amazing. Let's sit on this profile screen and enjoy the training facilities being 4 whole stars. Yes, we are moving onwards and upwards, it feels like. For the first time in a while, it doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot of board requests going on. The youth level request to improve things that we did in April is currently in the planning stages. I'm hoping that's going to amount to something at some point. Time will tell. Of course, the financials of our football club have been a topic of discussion for a long time. They will continue to be a topic of discussion, I think, because we're losing quite a lot of money. I rejected that bid from Ricky D, as I mentioned, by Wrexham. It was the only major bid we had between last episode and the transfer window closing. But right now in this division, we are losing over £500,000 a month. And whilst, as you can see here, we've got clauses to sell, and we do have some rather healthy cash instalments owed by Luton, the reality is that come the end of this year, there's no instalments left to come in, and at that point, well, the finances of this football club will have to be evaluated. Saying all of that, of course, our highest earner is this man, 4, the striker who can't really score. Well, he can score. No, he can score. People on the internet, when I posted a picture of him on Twitter, at Workspace, follow me, when I post this picture on Twitter, there are people who kind of look at a player like this and think, rubbish, look at those mentals. I'm convinced those people have never actually taken a risk on a player like this in Football Manager. Hayati Orrington has been amazing for us. He has 8 goals in 7 games. I feel like sometimes in Football Manager, people want the complete package, right? Sometimes it's okay to sign a player like this guy that has some really big strengths to his game that can mask over those weaknesses. You know, he might not be able to anticipate where the ball's going to go, but he has the acceleration, agility and pace to get there anyway. And, well, so far, so good for him. He's been playing alongside Jude, who's also been putting in some good performance recently. 5 goals to start the season for him, although he's unhappy, he wants a new deal. I tried to negotiate a contract with him. He wanted a match highest earner clause and £5,000 a week, which, well, when the current earner's on half of that, I just can't give him. I'm never going to give a player a match highest earner clause ever. It just burns you in Football Manager. And in fact, if we look at the club happiness, you can see there are a couple of players a little bit unhappy here and there, and Goma wants a new contract too. To be fair, they are 2 of the few players still on part-time deals, but until their wage demands become reasonable, they don't get new contracts. They're here for the next few years. They shouldn't have signed contracts if they didn't want to stay. Also, the aforementioned financial issues mean really can't be affording to pay them the big bucks. Anyway, that's what's been going on off the pitch. On the pitch, here is our form. This has not been plain sailing necessarily, but it has been a relatively good start to the season. Of course, last episode, we failed to win against Swansea and Shrewsbury, but if you look to the XG table, we're actually the favourites and predicted to be top. We conceded a lot of goals, we scored a fair few goals, but we still underperformed our XG. I'm pleased to report The goals have started to flow. There has been a few slip-ups in here, though. We started off this run of games with an amazing win against Sheffield Wednesday. They're a team predicted to be right up there, so to beat them 3-0 was nice. We then beat Stockport County 4-2. We did crash out of the EFL Cup, but that is certainly not the be-all or end-all. After that, 0-0 against AFC Wimbledon. They have just been a constant thorn in our side. Of course, promoted with us last year. They're down in 19th. They're winning a lot of games lately, and while they prevented us getting a couple extra points there. From there, though, some good results. A win in the Pizza Trophy was good against Torquay. Wins against Mansfield and Bradford were great, and then against Blackpool, 2-2. Now, 2-2 on the face of it, I'll hold up my hand and say it doesn't look that impressive. But sometimes it's not about the scoreline, it's about how you got there. And in this game here, away from home, our young plucky side did have to show a little bit of grit and fight. Blackpool, very, very good going forward. In front of a fairly packed house, actually, at Bloomfield Road. They doubled their lead, and with 20 minutes left, we needed a response. Jude, till this point in the season, hadn't been amazing. So to see him pop up with not one, but 2 goals was amazing. The first one, he nipped inside, switched his role this year to a pressing forward, so Forinson can play on the right-hand side because he doesn't have a left foot. And as that left-sided striker, Jude popped up once, and when he popped up twice, Ricky D in, Jude scored it, 90th minute. Things you love to see. That was one of those draws that felt like a win. The next few results were wins. Lincoln City, 3-1 win. Goldsmith with 2 and Bamber with a goal as well. Rotated the team for that game. That was really good to see. You can see here, Josh Keeley, injured at the moment. This was the last game in the league he'd play in full. He's now out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. We'll talk about that in a mo. We did take on Brentford's under-21s. 216 people turned up for that one. If only 216 people care about the game, I'm not covering it any more than that. Most recently, Reading, or Reading, I know it's Reading. They are a team with a media prediction of 2nd, underperforming at the moment down in 12th, were only relegated last year, and in this game against them on the road, a 1-1 draw. Not a bad performance this one, it was a very even game. They are a good side. The real headline thing here, as I mentioned, Keeley got injured. 99th minute, thankfully, tore his wrist muscle. That does leave me with a problem in goal. Naturally, you might be thinking, well, surely it's Mick's time to shine, Jack. No, it's not. I might regret this. This might be stupid, but Isaac Warren, the England under-18 international, is going to be my main goalkeeper. This guy has come through our academy. He has developed reasonably well, but as you can see, lately his development has stagnated. I feel like a couple of weeks to see if he's good enough for League One might be what the doctor ordered. Maybe it's not what the doctor ordered. It's like when you go on Google and search for, treatment for your sickness and you follow the top result. It's probably not what an official doctor would order, but the doctor that I am says he should play football to do better. So he's going to play for us. Now, to be fair, when you compare him to Keeley, he is a massive step down, but Keeley is a very good goalkeeper. That said, if we compare him to Mike McCartney, I don't actually feel like there's a world of difference. So Isaac, we gave him some cup games. He did fine in them. He's going to get a chance here to show us what he's all about. Another injury that we did also pick up in that game against Reading was this injury to Luke Chambers. He's not out for nearly as long. The left-back hasn't had a great start to the year. Last year, that half a season he had with us, phenomenal. This year's not so good. 6.81 rating. Slight cause for concern. But with him injured, it is going to open up an opportunity for Ryan Morgan to come into the team and show us, could he be the man that we're looking for? Could he be the left-back we need? I have brought him on in a few games this year. You can see 2 starts, 7 sub-appearances. Has mustered up 3 assists, and well, for the next few games at least, he is going to be the man on the left-hand side. Before we head into that game, though, here is a little look at the league table. Bizarrely, 1 defeat in 10 is great, but we've only won 5 of 10. We've had 4 draws, which have held us back a little bit, but this league is so competitive. It's still a very compact table, and in fact, with so many teams with different amounts of games played, perhaps it's a little hard to judge. The headline news, though, Forinson is the top goal scorer, Ricky D is most assists and has the highest average rating, and we're bloody massive. Ricky D, 5 player of the matches in 10 from right back. I don't know what to tell you. He's bloody good. So like I mentioned, Chambers is injured, Keeley's injured. They are the 2 enforced subs. It means that Morgan and Warren are going to come in. Elsewhere in the team, you'll notice that Luigi Gasperi I am sticking with at centre-back. I talked about this last episode, the fact I wasn't sure, would he play often, would he not play often? I've decided to give him a chance. He has actually done pretty well so far, the 20-year-old. He's developing really well, which is what we want to see. Loads of potential, was only released by Roma, so really, I'd like to think he could still have some good potential. You know, a backup for Roma that they decide to bin off is still a bloody good footballer for League One. Gasperi so far, so good, I think. Elsewhere in the team, Nkisi has been struggling a little bit at centre-back, but we are going to stick with him. Masters and Timmy have done well at the kind of centre defensive mid position. Guerrero and Goma, they're not doing terribly. 7 assists between them, 5 goals between them. I would like to see a little bit more of them. I feel like in big games, they're going to be important to show up. I know this one against Peterborough isn't the biggest. The one against Watford definitely is. It's fair to say the last episode was a traumatic experience. I don't think it's dramatic to say it was traumatic. I'm hoping that today is going to be a little calmer. We are still playing the 4-2-2-2. Like I mentioned, we've drawn a lot of games. We are being a team that are hard to beat, though. 1 defeat in our 10 games, and it was the defeat against Shrewsbury, which, let's be honest, should never have been a loss. As I said, completely over it. We're on the attack here. Timmy shoots. Grazes the top of the crossbar. He scored a banger last episode. He nearly added another one there. Well, speaking of the devil, he's now over the corner, whips it back post, and Gasperi with his 2nd ever goal for the club. Doesn't matter if he's a centre-back whose predominant kind of deficiency is defending. That's a hell of a sentence. He is very good at jumping. He's very good at running. He's good in the corners. Back post header, 1-0. So far, so good in this game. 35 minutes played. Peterborough have not had a shot yet, although maybe we're gifting them a chance here. Gabe Forsyth, our former man, by the way, chilling in their centre mid position. We have a lot of former players that I feel like we do battle against. We've not really been shy about selling players to rival teams. Also, this is the first time we're seeing Warren on the ball. Is it a Bernini sculpture of a ball forward? The answer is no. He's given it straight to their team, and in fact now they're on the attacking. Goma, though, captain, fantastic, wins the ball back well. Morgan, Jude, options in the middle, 4 is there. Jude tries to go on his own. And, well, it was a difficult angle, the shot, to be fair. Peterborough now, well, maybe trying to carve something out. They've not really carved anything out so far. If they were a sculptor, they wouldn't be a very good sculptor. They play the ball forward. Gasperi wins the header. Forsyth getting bullied in the midfield. Our former man, obviously, we know what his game is. He's weak. He gets injured easily. That is his game. Forensen, great defending there. Guerrero nods it forward to no one. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. As now Forsyth at the back. I realised last episode I Slate, didn't I? I talked all that rubbish about him and then he put us to the sword. Watch them score here. Bennett, don't do it. It's deflected in off our defender. Donald Bennett has scored. This was just one big ball through the middle, wasn't it? That just completely cut open our team. We were caught a little bit slow at the back. Gasperi, I talked about his ability to run. He did run and then he blocked it into our own goal. I feel like that's just unfortunate, really. It's their first shot of the game. It's their first goal of the game. And while we might not be done just yet, there is only a matter of, well, I was going to say seconds left of the half. I suppose it is only a matter of seconds. 50 minutes plus any added time. We get a tackle put in. Jude is now in hot pursuit as Broadbent looks to mop up the pieces. Peterborough having a lot of possession, I feel like, deep in their own half, and then they're lumping it forward. They have undone us with that once, but on this occasion, we win the ball back well. Timmy lays it wide to Ricky D. There are going to be players queuing in the middle. He has 10 assists for the year in 10 games. Could he make it 11 and 11? Of course he bloody can. Jude scores 2-1. If you are wondering, by the way, what makes Ricky D so good going forward, I actually don't really know. He doesn't have good crossing. So, I mean, make up your own decisions as to what it is. I'd say his mentals and his physicals are his biggest strength. Maybe it's just his ability to find some space on the wing. You know, he's a quick player. He's a smart player to find those opportunities for the crosses. Defensively, he's very astute too. Really, he has no right to keep up this record he's doing. He probably won't maintain it all year. Jude, you've just scored. Now you've given away a penalty. Everything hurts. Isaac Warren, the kid. We've thrown him in at the deep end without his floaties. Can he make a save? No, it's 2-2. It's 2-2. I hate Football Manager. If you are someone... I've just read it's Forsyth on the penalty, isn't it? I was about to say, if you're someone who feels like the last few seasons have been straightforward, this season is just full of pain. Forsyth scored. I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it. We're playing pissing Football Manager. He's made one appearance for Peterborough before this game. He's now scored from the penalty spot in this one. Why do I feel like the AI has done that on purpose? It's trying to mentally boom me by putting my former player on a penalty against me in his second ever appearance for the club. I'm fuming. Right, I'm going to tell the lads, it's absolutely unacceptable. Guerrero for Aronson, you're both letting down the team. Let's not panic. Let's not overreact. There's 45 minutes to right and steady this ship. Morgan at left back gets forward, whips in. Aronson is there. It's a goal for him. The team talks work wonders. He came from Iceland to give Rugby Town a hand, and now he's leading us to the promised land. To the Premier League we go for Aronson. That should be a chant. I've just invented a chant, haven't I, there? Don't know why I've done a chant. They've got a kick-off highlight. I mean, if we get 2 goals here, I'm not even going to celebrate it because I feel like a 2-goal lead is dangerous, as we've learnt recently. Ricky D with the ball gives it forward to Aronson, who on that occasion can't use his pace, but we do still have the ball. Timmy with it now, lays it wide. Morgan, there are options in the middle here. Can he pick someone out? He can. Jude is there. It's 2 goals in 2 minutes. It's 4-2. I feel like Morgan has seen Ricky D at right back doing his thing and thought, you know what, I could do that at left back. It's his 4th assist of the season, to be fair. He might be stating his case to be our starting left back, to be fair. That is the response we needed. I am concerned about Timmy on a booking. I'm pausing the game to make my subs today. I've learnt my lesson. Timmy, off you come. And Bamba, who's recently signed a new contract, on you come. Guerrero, off. Sam Fay is coming on. 2 goals to his name in League One so far this year. It's not exactly an emphatic goal-scoring record or performance record, for that matter, but at least he's developing. For a player who's listed in the Media Dream 11 and is really bigged up, Guerrero is a bit of a question mark for me. I wonder if we can do anything to get more out of him. I feel like that might be something I experiment with in the next few months. You know, is there a different role? Is there a slight tweak to the formation that we could do? He could play as a striker. He could even play as a right mid if we wanted to do something a little bit asymmetric with Ngoma kind of playing more central. Either way, you know what? I don't feel like the immediate future is the time for tinkering. We've got Watford up next, who are currently in 3rd. It would be stupid, wouldn't it? Mkize is not having fun in this game. I'm going to bring in McLaughlin. Elsewhere, Masters, I'm going to give him a rest. Brody Spencer on Newcombe. Not to be a deep line playmaker, though. You can just play as a DM on defend. They've had 2 shots on target. They have both gone in. It's not a glowing endorsement for Isaac Warren in goal, but to be fair, one of them was from the penalty spot. The other was a deflected shot. And he's done everything else he needed to do. You know, distribution has been fine. I mean, from what we've seen. Ignore the fact he's got a 6.5 rating. Isaac, ignore the haters. You were amazing, mate. Given the fact that Peterborough's form recently hadn't been great, I wasn't expecting that to be a more straightforward game. It was anything but with that result there, we do move within a point of Bolton Wanderers and Port Vale. We do have the same number of games played as both those sides. Watford, though, who we've got ahead, we play in our next game. They have 2 games in hand. And also QPR, who are another very, very good team, still also have 2 games in hand as well. And Sheffield, you know, Wednesday and Reading with games in hand too. There's lots of good teams behind us. Don't be deceived by this position. It's early days. I'm not going to get carried away yet. Also, did my lights just flash behind? Did my lights just flash behind me there? No. I don't know what's happening. Please send help. I think I'm in a possessed room. Didn't really mention it before. Ryan Morgan got 2 assists that game. You are Ricky D Jr. You could be Ricky D the second. Anyway, that Watford game is at home. I'm hoping that might give us a little bit of an edge, but I know it's going to be a tough one. It's in 3 days' time as well. We've just played midweek. We are going to need a rest. Looking at their team, just a bit of context here, Ngakia, their right back, is on £33,000 a week. For context, our entire team is on £38,000. Yeah, make of that what you will. Realise I should have mentioned this earlier. The reason we didn't do the away day against Peterborough, we did it in last year's Park to Prem. And if you sat and think, well, I didn't watch last year's Park to Prem, I think you know what I'm going to say. Go watch it. Anyway, this second game against Watford is going to be a tricky one. Just a 3-day rest. The only team selection dilemma really is the fact that Chambers is slowly coming back from injury. Apparently a fitness test is not required. I say it's a dilemma. His condition is absolutely poor. Morgan literally got man of the match last game. He's staying in at left back. The rest of the team is going to be unchanged, including Isaac Warren between the sticks. Let's see how he gets on. I feel like he didn't really get a fair shot of things last time out. However, I do feel like in this game here, Watford are going to create a lot more than Peterborough did. We are going to need to do some defending, and he is going to be put under the microscope. Watford are playing a 4-2-3-1. I feel like that's a system that we can actually do quite well against if we can overwhelm their defensive midfielders. We are going to have, well, I was going to say maybe a chance here. Morgan was putting the ball into the box from left back, and after last game, I was just expectant of magic to happen. That said, Hasn't really worked out for us, and now, well, we're trying to get a little bit of defensive action going here as we look to press from the front. They do, however, find a whole lot of space. Now it's Femin inside, playing it wide tonight. He is going to dink it forward. Mkize, Ricky D needs to match up one-on-one against Pring. He can't. The ball's put in. Watford carve us open. It's the worst possible start. I think this is going to be the first division that we've gone into as part of this Let's Play, where there are just certain squads that I look at and I feel like there's an insurmountable difference. When one of their players is on £33,000 and our entire club is on £38,000, it provides a little bit of perspective. Watford have carved us open there. That's not to say that I feel like we should roll on our backs and give up. We are going to keep going in this game, and while the dream response would be a goal here, Masters tries to play it inside. We failed to do so, and now they are going to look to spring the counter-attack yet again. Carved us out once already, kind of on the break on this near side. Mkize misses his tackle. Gudjonsson comes in. Gasperi, though, what a tackle by the Italian there. Swept up superbly. Lays it inside to Masters, and now we are going to try and launch a little counter-offensive of our own. Arinson lays it to Masters. There is an option over on the left-hand side. Guerrero, will he spot Morgan? He will indeed. Left-back has a little bit of time and space here. You might try and get to the byline. No support really. Has to get it in. Does get it in. And Jude goes down in a heap. We're going to get a penalty. I'm worried he's injured because he was clutching his foot, but I'm more worried that Ngoma is going to miss this. And Ngoma, please score. Okay, well, you know, I didn't need to worry. He smashed that into the top bins. I feel like penalties at this football club have not been plain sailing, have they? That one there, that was one to behold. And Ngoma steps up, smashes it, left foot. I mean, even the keeper had gone the right way. He was not getting near that. Jude was holding his leg, by the way, after that penalty. I can confirm he is absolutely fine. Yeah, no issues to speak of at all. Anyway, we are trying to get some defending done here. You'll notice that Masters does take up kind of a left-sided position as the deep line playmaker on support as we try and move things around. I have been thinking lately about maybe switching Masters to a deep line playmaker on defend. Do I want to try it in this game? I feel like maybe this is a good opportunity just to see if it solves a little bit of a problem I felt that we've had. You might have spotted it there. I don't mind Masters going forward if there was someone behind him. Although the deep line playmaker has the hold position player instruction, I feel like sometimes it just seems to get overwritten. Either way, we've got a chance here. Corner, we're going to go short. Watford have not read this. We've got plenty of space. Masters has 14 passing. Unfortunately, he can't pass when he's got his back to goal. Turns well, though. Ball, edge of the box. Ricky D doesn't get there, and I don't know why we were shown that corner, but all it's made me think is we need to practice corners at training. 5 minutes left of this first half. Just looking at the stats real quick, Watford just one shot on target. It was their goal early on. We've responded well since then. We have looked defensively very, very solid, and yet it's still 1-1, and there could still be more action before this half is over. Isaac Warren still not really tested. He might be tested here. And Kise puts in one tackle. Grant now has the ball. Sorensen, Gudjonsson turns, shoots wide. I think he had it covered. Ricky D is on a booking at right back, but if there's one player in my team I trust, and I might live to regret this, I trust Ricky D. That was a very good first half performance, keep it up. I feel like in this kind of game, we do just have to give praise. Soonsup Bell won that penalty, but still hasn't performed well here, so actually, I'm going to bring in Goldsmith. Goldsmith, when we've given him chances this year, has been good. I feel like his 17 acceleration, combined with 14 pace and half-decent mentals in the more attacking areas, I suppose I'm namely here talking about the composure and off the ball, they suit him for this level. And whilst he's an inconsistent performer, I mean, he's got 4 goals in 9 games. He's not been bad. I'm bringing him on here. In Goldsmith, we trust. I think we'll just make the one sub for now. I've not always been making all my subs this year. I do feel like there's a little bit of a step down in quality from our subs from our starting 11. Speaking of which, here's some quality. Maybe. Guerrero, I say maybe. It wasn't quality. Guerrero hasn't even hit the target from the free kick. It's gone out for a corner. Oh, not a corner, a goal kick. They're now going to take that goal kick. And are we going to live to regret that free kick going out where it did? We've got the ball here. Timmy does well to win it. Ricky D, I've said I've trusted you. Please don't hurt me. Mkize, Masters, playing on defend now. He will just drop that little bit deeper. Might be something we look into more and more. Morgan and Ngoma, there are options in front. He could go on his own. He does go on his own. Keeper parries it wide. We do have a corner here, and Ngoma raises his arm. He knows the routine that's coming in. He's going to whip it in towards the back post, and Mkize, Well, he might have known what was coming. He couldn't keep the header down, though. I'm going to make a couple more subs here, and Bamba is going to come in, I think, for Masters. He's not at the best of games. Elsewhere, Guerrero has let himself down again. I'm going to bring in McCulloch here to see what he can do. McCulloch is a player who could be very, very good. He did recently, you might remember, break his leg during the summer when I thought he might be a player we use more often. He's come back from that broken leg pretty quickly, to be fair. 20 years old, has spent the last couple of years out on loan playing for Ebbsfleet, has never played higher than the National League, has come through our academy. He's another one of our own products. I'd like to see what he can do. We'll give him a chance. And elsewhere, for Arrington's not been good. Sam. I'm looking at you, Sam. Advance forward. Do your thang. I don't know why I've said do your thang there. I think that's like something that people write. Probably young people, kids, you know, on TikTok. It's not thing, it's fang. Do your thang. There are moments of these videos that I think maybe in 10 years' time, you know, I'll watch back these videos and cringe. I feel like this do your thang thing. The fang will be one of those things. We've got the ball here. Right, Kasperi, get me out of a hole here. Give me a shovel, or rather get rid of the shovel. I'm digging my own hole that I can't get out of with this commentary. Morgan, can you bail us out? Ball back post, phase there. Headed away, now Coney, now maybe going to bring the ball forward for them. Gifts it, though, to Morgan. We've got so many players forward here. The left back, dispossessed. McCulloch, though, recycles possession nicely. We still have the ball here. Morgan to the byline, crosses it. Goldsmith's there. It's 2-1 against Watford. This could be massive. Remember that defeatist nonsense I was saying earlier when it was 1-0 after 10 minutes? Take that all back. We are Rugby Town. We are here to stay. We are here to play. That's a lovely finish. I feel like since we've made those changes, things have turned in our favour just a little bit. If we could get a second, that would be nice. Ricky D and Bamba. Still playing, by the way, as that deep line playmaker on defend. I do like what we have here, although I do feel like sometimes we are just a little bit disjointed with this system. Wonder if there is stuff that we could look at to tweak tactically. I feel like we're winning in this game, so maybe I shouldn't even be considering it. And Goma's through, and Goma's shot whistles wide the post. That wasn't far away. I love the fact that we're 2-1 up against a team currently, you know, predicted to be very high in the league, are very high in the league, could go top if they win their games in hand. We've actually dominated this game. Their one shot that they scored, the only shot on target they've had, and I'm here talking about the tactical changes. I feel like sometimes when you watch the highlights, you can overanalyze things and kind of over-panic about things. Clearly what we're doing is working. Goldsmith's in behind. Can he finish it? He can. He's onside. I told you he's good off the bench. Probably should start him more. I'm not sure who it was who played the ball forward here. It might have been Timmy. Someone whoever played the ball. Was it you, Timmy? It was Timmy. What a ball that was. Insane vision to spot that pass. Insane finish as well. Really nice stuff. I've got one sub left in my back pocket here. Ricky D's on a booking. The last thing we need to do is go down a man. Brody Spencer, going to bring him on at right back. Of course, he is naturally a right back who we've trained in recent years to play defensive mid. Goldsmith's been gifted the goal ball. He's on a hat-trick. He's got his hat-trick. He's been gifted the goal. I knew what was going to happen before it happened. Does beg the question, really, doesn't it? Why was he on the bench, Jack? You know what? Sometimes you have to put players on the bench to put them in their place and make them earn their spot. They come on with a bee in their bonnet, a point to prove. I think Goldsmith's proved his point. Might have to start him a bit more. It's 4-1, and I don't want to say it preemptively because of last episode, but I feel like we are on course to get the result that we deserve and desire here. Brownhill's going to play it forward. If they get one back, I will be slightly concerned that with 10 minutes left, scoring 2 is possible. That has deflected off their striker and gone in, hasn't it? He didn't even know what happened there. The commentator's saying a nice move there. Can we discuss this nice move? Sorry, it's a shot here. This is not a cross. No one can convince me otherwise. Brownhill has shot, and it's just hit him in the head and gone in. It's 4-2. Corner here. The last corner we saw wasn't exactly ideal, was it? In fact, our corners this game have not been good. Faye. We're practicing corners, I've decided. I'm going to update the training schedule myself for the first time in all my years at rugby just to tell us to practice corners more. Goldsmith, Timmy, Faye, turns his man, kind of. Gives it back to Mkize. Mkize, by the way, can pick out a pass on occasion. He can also apparently run down the wing as a centre-back. Where are you going? Brody Spencer, options in the middle. Gives it away, and now Nkize's out of position. Fortunately, Gasperi's there to mop things up. Nkize's just, he's a nutter. Likes to do his own little thing at the back. Doesn't understand centre-back when I explain it to him. Andrews, with one of the worst defensive headers I've ever seen. Watford really are shooting themselves in the foot this game, aren't they? Morgan, couple of assists last game, lays it inside to Mbamba. He goes down. We've been given another penalty, and you know what? We're 4-2 up. We can afford to do this. we all know who's taking it. Sam Fay, on you come. I did just demand more from the players, and apparently he's pressured by the feedback. Well, you know what? You're on a penalty. Don't balls it up. Given the fact he could be a player who's here to the end of the save game, we need to pad his stats in these first few years. In 10 years' time, when we look at his player history, we'll look at these goals. We won't remember how they came about. Maybe it was me biasly giving him a penalty, but they will exist as goals. He's got one here. It's 5-2. There is 7 minutes of added time at the end of this game. I do feel confident in saying they're not going to score 3, and we are going to get a win here. I wouldn't mind a 6th. I mean, 6 goals would be fun, wouldn't it? Morgan runs straight into Andrews, who I've got to say has been having a noticeably bad game at right back. Watford do just look a little bit discombobulated in this game. They don't really look like they know what they're doing as they try and play the ball out from the back. There's an air of panic about every pass they do. Like at any moment, they're going to turn over possession, gift it to us, and we're going to just hit them on the break. Could we do it here? There's so much space through the middle. Fay drops deep for it, and Bamba, Goldsmith. This is sensational football, by the way. Look at the players we've got in this onslaught of an attack. Morgan whips in, Fay's back post. He can't get there. Brody Spencer, though, is there. The right back squares it. Fay, did he score? He didn't score. It came off there, man. Doesn't matter. It's 6-2. Yeah, it might have been an own goal, but they all count at the end of the day, and this is a mad result. If you had 6-2 on your bingo card, well done. You've won. It could be 7-2. It's 7-2. It's 7-2. We're bloody good, aren't we? Has to be said, I've been sensational at picking the episodes, or rather the matches to feature in episodes this season. I've done well so far on the selection committee of matches for Match of the Day. Yeah, 7-2. 7. I'll just say it again, it's 7. I mean, if nothing else, it does add a goal difference a world of good. We go up to positive 19, and suddenly we're ahead of Port Vale, who lost 2-0 to Bolton in a top-of-the-table clash. I don't want to say it too loudly. Could we go up? I mean, with performances like this, I wouldn't bet against it. There is always a concern that having failed to win in the first 2 games of the season, right? I go away, play the games, we win a few, and people go, that bit weird that you're winning all the games off camera, and then I come back for the episode, play it, and then we get battered in both games, even though I know they're more difficult games. Today has been the polar opposite. I actually think we put better performances in these 2 games than any of the performances before, which it's nice for the players to turn up when the camera's on, unlike yesterday. Anyway, I think we are going to wrap things up there from me. We look like we could be on course for a really successful season. Obviously, there was a few question marks at the start of the episode, but the results we've just got, we find ourselves for the first time all year in the automatic promotion spots. In terms of upcoming games, Port Vale, the team in 3rd, we play at the end of next month. And on top of that, there is also the Bolton Wanderers game, who are currently 1st. Obviously, a lot can change between now and then. I wouldn't be surprised if we're playing one or maybe both those games next time out. If you have enjoyed today's episode, as always, do drop a like on things. I mean, we just had a 9-goal thriller. If that isn't a reason to leave a like, I don't know what is. Tomorrow we are back with more action. I'll see you guys for it. Until next time, it is me, Jack. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.